Public comment.
There are 7 people for public comment.
2 minutes.
Okay, so the folks that are still here that have signed up for public comment, I will call your name twice, and if those folks would please come up to the first row where we have seats for you, so we make sure that everybody is served. So Eric Reed, Debbie Willis, Diane Maddox, Diane Brown, Al Kirkman, Lorraine Gray, and Elin Hansen. I'll call those names one more time. Eric Reed, Debbie Willis, Diane Maddox, Diane Brown, Al Kirkman, Lorraine Gray, and Elin Hansen.
Good evening, President Cronenberg, Dr. Harder, and members of the board. I appreciate the time to talk. It was enriching, truly, to see the Local 1 members here speaking for their membership, wearing badges that said educator, and realizing that the supervisors, Local 1 and UTR, truly are all educators, the front line who are in the schools, creating special opportunities for our students. They talked about the idea of healthcare, and I want to take that idea and bring it down to a personal reality, and in doing so I'm going to break some taboos and talk about personal finance. I have a lovely wife and 2 lovely sons, and my wife is very understanding. So last week I broke to her the news that we have a fiscal emergency in the family, and that meant no cash for the next week until January 10th. Why was January 10th important? That's because January 10th is the day that I received my paycheck from my other job. Why do I have another job? Because in 2009, we agreed to a contract which put a cap on our health care. I have a family, and there's no way that I'm going to take them off of a health care plan, so I have to pay the money above that cap. In the past 4 years, the money that I've paid has gone up. This year, $200 a month, which is about a 3% cut in pay for me. I can't absorb that, so, you know, I don't have a gym membership anymore. I don't have cable anymore. All I can do is work more. There are consequences to that. The consequences are my students are not receiving the same attention that they once did. 12 years ago, I started a robotics project. This year, it's over. Middle College doesn't have robotics anymore because I can't be 2 places at once. There's a wider consequence. Our families in our district are our experienced teachers, right? The experienced teachers are the older teachers that have families. They're going to leave, and we're going to be educated by less experienced teachers. I have a solution. Maybe I'll share that with you next time. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Board, Dr. Hodder. My name is Debbie Willis, and I'm a teacher at Collins Elementary School. I'm also the UTR site rep, and it is that capacity that I'm here to speak to you this evening. The staff members of Collins are concerned about why we are not on a list to be repaired or to be rebuilt. And when the list was originally made several years ago, we probably could have waited several years to be repaired or rebuilt. However, the Collins has deteriorated rapidly in the last few years. And as a matter of fact, in this last school year, we have had classrooms with no heat in them because of the poor heating system that we have. The maintenance department is down there regularly trying to fix things, trying to get us heat. We have finally heat in some of the classrooms, but not all of them. And my classroom is regulated by a Dixie cup right now, the temperature. We've also had sewage backups many times in the last few weeks. The pipes rattle several times during the day, so loudly that it's hard to think. And Collins is deteriorating at a rapid pace, and we'd like to know when it is that we can expect to be repaired or rebuilt, because the Band-Aids are not helping our severed arteries right now, and we are bleeding like crazy. So we need your help, and we need someone to come down and look at Collins and see what needs to be done. Thank you.
Hello, Diane, Maddox, Downer Elementary. I've got 2 minutes to read where I poured my heart out. We teachers have been asked to tell our stories so school board members will be inspired to get on the right side of history. Some teachers work 2 jobs, others can't afford medical insurance. I have to sleep in my living room. We teachers also try to tie our struggle to class size so we can get the support of the community. Of course, class size is directly correlated to the quality of education we provide and the students receive. I say the concept of treating teachers with respect is a sum whose whole is greater than its parts. It's bigger than the students, the teachers, the community, the school, the board, the district. Respecting teachers benefits us all. A teacher cares for children's safety in case of emergency. A teacher provides a student's education. All those who so-called self-made billionaires need to give credit to teachers. In fact, those self-made people need to give credit to the collective village for the roads they walk on, the plumbing they use, the electrical grid they benefit from, the research done in public schools that went into the technology they have at their fingertips. Many teachers and public school employee members and public employees are members of unions. Unions benefit everyone. Organized labor is not the enemy, it is our friend. Organized labor raises the bar and changes the dialogue. Thanks to organized labor, there exist such concepts as weekends, vacations, benefits, decent wages, and working conditions. Those concepts increase productivity. 70 years ago, the country's labor force was 25% unionized. Now it's down to 10. Europe, that the U.S. helped to rebuild after World War II, still has a strong organized labor force and consequently provides better benefits. 60 years ago, during the Republican Eisenhower administration, the wealthy were taxed at 90%. That is when California had a public school system that was one of the best in the country. Thanks to the triple up policies like Prop 13, we now have one of the worst. Public school teachers and their unions are helpful to a community in more ways than one. They should be backed and supported by 100% of the people, no matter their walk of life.
President Brown.
You know, it was really painful to listen to the comments that were made by Mr. Alexander. I know the history of Mr. Alexander and Barbara Alexander, and some of you on this board know the history of the work they did in this district. It's amazing that he is able to continue to talk to you about the work that they have done. They were the conscience of this district. They were very powerful, and they worked very hard with the African American community. So what I want to say to you, I agree with what he said. He spent the last 4 years coming before this board, asking for our students to be able to celebrate Kwanzaa. So I want to say to you, I'm volunteering to work with Mr. Alexander so that we could have that celebration, so we can have that recognition. So I just want to let you know, you feel free to call on me so we can get this done. Thank you.
Mr. Kirkman?
People people of color. What an insult. We are Americans, nothing more and nothing less, and we should be proud to be an American. And quit trying to be divisive, Mr. Ramsey. Now, we know, or we should have learned by now, that we can only spend what we get. Unless we have some very rich board members that are willing to subsidize whatever money we overspend, but you can only spend what we got. That's it. Now, Mr. Ramsey, I think somebody needs to edit your comments in the newspaper. He claims that our gyms are being overused and we should pay for them. We should be encouraging the use of our gyms. Get as many people active as possible. And I'll read your lips. We are one of the very few districts that has MRAD. You all know what MRAD is. You know how many other districts have MRAD, Mr. Ramsey? I can read lips. Exactly, 0. We are the only one. We as a community are willing to support our recreational activities. Please keep that in mind. You insult us, we will give you anything you want, providing it's for the students. No more bloated salaries, none of that. A new parcel tax must be for students only. A one-week camp at Camp Arroyo for all of our 4th, 5th, and I'll show you how to finance this. We'll go to lunch sometime. So anyway, for the kids only. So if you're going to put a parcel tax on there, you better swing it by us first. Because if it's not right, we're going to turn it down, period. No more of this overspending. $3,000 we spent this past weekend on a consultant that we could have answered those questions. It's ridiculous. So anyway, for the kids only or forget it. Thank you.
Lorraine Gray.
Dr. Harder, the board, I'm Lorraine Gray. I'm also a kindergarten teacher at Collins Elementary School. It's my classroom that the sewer is backing up into. 5 days this school year, the sewer has come up through the boys' bathroom. I have to take my kindergartners way down the hall to use the bathroom. We also have the pipes that rumble through where you cannot even speak, and the kids just go, oh, there's the air in the pipe, and they color until it stops. You know, and to get kindergartners back is very difficult. I do the prep for the upper grades. You talked about the technology. We have 22 computers that work in our computer lab. I have 25 students. We don't use the computer lab. There's not enough computers. I know this. I take the 6th graders in there. They have to double up on the computers when they're all there. I look at some of these slides that we saw here today. They all have lovely furniture. My furniture is dilapidating. It's gouged. It's been there as long as I've been there, which is 12 years, and it was old when I got there. So if you could just please look at Collins. We really are desperate for some help. Thank you.
Elaine Hansen.
Hi, board. I don't really know how to address you properly, but hello. I'm Elin Hansen, and I teach at Elin. And really, I came up because I was really proud of the Youth Commission. I really liked hearing that young man speak, and I think it was Mr. Ramsey, you asked him what he recommended to change the achievement gap, and he said motivation. And I sort of looked at you, and I thought you winced, because I know that sometimes, I think we teachers, we understand what motivation means a lot more than maybe the board. Because, but anyway, I want to go beyond that. I think what you really need is to bring back, to change the achievement gap and to help the students who really could be motivated. You need to bring back vocational classes. You need to bring back wood shop, you need to bring back metal shop, you need to bring back mechanics, you need to bring back drafting, which leads to architecture and engineering. Oh, did I go over my time? Okay, I know you don't have those because they dropped them about 20 years ago. And the only place kids can take those now is in community college. By the time the kids get to community college, some have already dropped out of school. I think we want to catch them before they drop out of school. I'm a real advocate of 29 seconds. I teach second grade, by the way. So if you can, I agree with him. We need to focus on what's best for these kids. We can't have them all be, you can do academics and do wood shop. You can do academics and metal shop. You can do academics and drafting. Everything that we don't have anymore. So let's bring it back. Thanks.
That concludes public comment.
Thank you.